The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Welcome everybody. I want to say thank you to everyone for coming out for our candidate forum, hosted by the Exploit Regional Chamber of Commerce. My name is Chris Sproul, the president of the chamber. I'll be mediating tonight. Tonight we're going to start first by introducing our panelists, and we'll start. We'll start by introducing our nominees. So our candidates, starting first at our left, are Dave Barker, Peggy Bartlett, Rod Bennett, Mike Brown, Sean Feener, Neil Poole, and Mandela Windsor. To my left, you also have our panelists who will be asking our questions tonight, and they are Colleen Lewis of NTV, Dave Newell of CBC, and Randy Edison of the Advertiser. So tonight we're going to start with our opening and the rules of our engagement tonight is that all candidates will have 2 minutes for opening remarks and 2 minutes for closing remarks. The same question will be asked of each candidate with 1 minute to respond. And the candidates will start speaking alphabetical order as we have prearranged, with each subsequent question will be asked of the candidate in that order. So first starting, we have up Dave Barker, and we have 2 minutes to start there.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for organizing this forum. Taxpayers of Grand Falls-Windsor and fellow candidates. On March the 8th, the citizens of Grand Falls-Windsor will elect 2 new council members. The town's budget biggest source of revenue is residential property taxes. We need new industries to make use of the forest and hydro resources. New industries will give homeowners a break on taxes, and jobs will allow young people to stay here with their families. Since the closure of the paper mill in 2009, our hydro and forest resources are being exported out of our community, with no revenue going to the town. Let's work together for a more prosperous future for all citizens. On March the 8th, vote Dave Barker.
Okay. Next we have Peggy Bartlett.
Thank you for the opportunity to participate in the forum. My name is Peggy Bartlett. My husband and I chose Grand Falls-Windsor as our home to raise a family and operate a business, and after 24 years, we're very happy with our home choice. I'm running because I believe that we need to elect councillors who are accessible and accountable. Councillors who will listen to the issues, represent your concerns, and work towards a positive outcome. Doing our door-to-door campaigning, many residents are saying they are hesitant to voice their concerns when an issue arises because in the past they felt that nobody listened or they were labeled as a complainer. There's no doubt that the top issues on the minds of the residents are high municipal taxes. I believe we need to be fiscally responsible for every dollar spent. Many residents are on fixed incomes and clearly say they cannot afford to pay more taxes or they will have to do without other essentials in order to stay in their own homes. The Salmon Festival concert losses, instead of putting that money into essential infrastructure like local roads, good water, etc. We need to be pursuing new industries for forestry and bringing with it good paying jobs. We need to continue to support Council's efforts on making Grand Falls-Windsor a regional centre for advanced educational programs, new school of nursing, hospital services, and health and wellness programs. We need to maintain good household services for taxes that we are currently paying and not spending unnecessary in times of restraint. We need to promote and support our culture, heritage, and community services, and these are just a few. Grand Falls-Windsor is a strong and proud community that needs to focus on our positive. We need to focus on our strengths and not our weaknesses. I think we need to restart the collective working process and reach out, partnering with individuals, churches, seniors advocacy groups, community groups, and businesses to strengthen our position as a unified town as well as a regional centre. We need everyone pulling together in the same direction to strengthen our community base. Thank you.
And next we have Rod Bennett.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rod Bennett, and I'm a candidate in the upcoming election in Grand Falls-Windsor. I have been a lifelong resident of Grand Falls-Windsor, and I would be honored to have the opportunity to represent this wonderful town. I've been married to Hilda White, daughter of Kathleen White, for more than 25 years. We have two great children. Our son Jordan is 21. He's currently attending Memorial University, and he's working on his business degree. Our daughter Allison is 18. She is currently completing her first year university studies here at Kona in Grand Falls-Windsor, and she will be attending Acadia University in the fall. I am the owner and operator of Action Sport Shots for the last 5 years. I have spent most of my life working in retail with Dominion and IGA. I served as a volunteer firefighter with the town of Grand Falls-Windsor for over 11 years. At present, I am still involved with the fire department through various fundraisers. I have also volunteered for a variety of charitable organizations such as Grand Falls-Windsor Minor Hockey, Grand Falls-Windsor Minor Baseball, the Exploit Soccer Association, the Canadian Cancer Society, Daffodil Place, the Children's Wish Foundation, Muscular Dystrophy, and many more. If elected as councillor, I will be committed to work towards my campaign promises. I will not vote on any issues unless I'm adequately informed and understand them completely. As a volunteer firefighter, I was committed to our community for 24/7. If elected as councillor, I will provide the same level of commitment to the residents of Grand Falls-Windsor. Thank you.
Next up we have Mike Brown.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you to the Chamber for hosting this worthwhile event. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was born and raised in Grand Falls-Windsor and have lived here my entire life. I am Executive Director of the Grand Falls-Windsor Golf Club. Through that position, I have considerable assets which make me a good candidate for council. I did oversee the $2 million spent on our course expansion and construction of our new clubhouse. I have gained valuable experience in lobbying provincial and federal politicians for funding. I have become familiar with the tendering process and most importantly have gained considerable experience in dealing with contractors and more importantly, holding employees accountable. Through my work history in marketing and management, I have come to learn what our citizens expect from their elected officials. First and foremost, they expect the councillor to be fiscally responsible, accountable, and transparent when it comes to deciding how our tax dollars are spent. It's no secret the province and the country are facing tough economic challenges when it comes to our economy. We must differentiate between necessary spending and discretionary spending, with a vision that does not burden the citizens with unnecessary tax increases. As a councillor for the people, you are expected to be an advocate on behalf of their issues, and in a timely and professional manner. Currently, some of our seniors are being forced to move from their hometown, to another town because of the lack of level 3 healthcare beds at Carmelite House. This is unacceptable and requires action immediately. I would be honored to have the opportunity to serve as your councillor. I am accessible, I am accountable, and I will bring a strong work ethic to that position. On March 8th, for vision, leadership, and results, vote Mike Brown.
Next up we have Sean Feener.
Good evening, audience, and I want to thank the Chamber for organizing this forum tonight. I know that we've been all out and trying to get as many votes out as possible. However, it's a great opportunity tonight for everybody to see exactly what we would bring to council. Just to tell a little bit about myself, I was born and raised in Grand Falls-Windsor. I was married to my wife Jackie for the past 30 years and have 2 children. I've worked with Natural Resources Department in the region for the past 27 years, and my wife and I operate a business here in town. For me, this town represents home, and like all of us, you want to take the best care of your home that you possibly can. Since the mill closed, we've done an amazing job of redefining ourselves and being labeled a mill town for hundreds of years. However, I do think we have an opportunity right now to capitalize on a number of areas. And I think we need to move forward quickly. Get a plan in place to make the best of what we have right here in our backyard. We have the best supply of timber that is currently being shipped east and west for processing. We're not getting anywhere near the value that we should be for having this resource in our backyard. We have an amazing tourism opportunities, but I do feel we could be benefiting more from it. We have a healthcare system that is desperate for trained professionals. Thankfully, we're working towards expanding the educational opportunities right here in the town to feed that demand. We are in desperate need for retail expansion here in town, and we have to bring some productive ideas to the table and with these issues. I know I can do that, and I hope that I count on your vote on March 8th. Thank you.
And next up we have Neil Poole.
Good evening, everyone here in attendance and tuning in through Rogers Television. My name is Neil Poole, and I've been a resident of Grand Falls-Windsor for the past 32 years. I was born and raised here. My wife Deidre and I have chosen to make Grand Falls-Windsor our permanent residence. In my many years living here, I've seen the town develop, and I believe there's a lot more we can develop on. Over the past few weeks, I had people approach me and ask what my forte is within the town. I can start by saying I've worked with Central Health in the finance department for the past 8 years. And in experience with that, we all know that fiscal restraint is coming down through the provincial government. And as a municipality, I believe that we have to be diligent with our spending as well. My approach as council would be a focus on enticing and retaining other individuals to our community, young and old. We need to attract more people to our community, and and to make this their permanent residence. We would do this by investing more in the recreation of the community. By investing in recreation of the community, that entices people to come into our town and find a permanent residence and a wonderful place to live. Therefore, all other aspects, businesses, will follow the people where they move. Our town slogan is perfectly centered, and that is how I see our town economically. We are centered here in our province, dead center of Newfoundland and Labrador, and this is something we definitely should capitalize on, whether it be through sporting events, businesses, etc. The only downfall I see in places is that we do have a problem with hotels and accommodations, which we can hopefully build on. I would like to thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
And next we have up Mandela Windsor.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank the Chamber for this opportunity. Why am I running for council? Well, I really want to be a councillor for my hometown, the town of Grand Falls-Windsor. I know there's a lot to learn, and I'm excited and ready for the challenge. I want to be a part of history. Mandela Windsor, elected in the 2016 by-election of the 25th anniversary of amalgamation. My husband, Rod, is a volunteer firefighter. Rod and I are passionate and protective of our town. As a wife, a mother, and a volunteer firefighter, it was impossible for me to do a big amount of volunteer work. I've had to leave meetings, my groceries at the supermarket, to meet Rod at the fire hall to pick up our son. When the alarm goes off, you don't have time to call a sitter. I was always on call. It was how I gave to my town. Nick is almost 13. I am no longer on call. I have more free time, and now I have an opportunity to give more to my town. The timing now is perfect. Since January the 17th, I've been busy, knocking on doors, attending events, and I have talked to a lot of people. I've heard ideas, comments, suggestions, and I take all of your ideas and comments seriously. I will bring them forward and speak on your behalf. I am ready, willing, and able to hold a councillor's position. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're moving on to our question period, and I apologize for my faux pas earlier. I did tell people that I would mess up early to bring everybody in at ease, so hopefully I've done that. So just to remind everybody, the same question will be asked of each candidate, and each candidate will have 1 minute to respond. And we are going to go in alphabetical order. And at this time, we're going to ask everybody again to go to the podium to take your minute to answer the question. And we're going to start with a question from Colleen Lewis from NTV. And our first question will be going to Peggy Bartlett. Begin with Peggy Bartlett.
Go ahead.
The first question is, in light of recent reports on the economy and the need to maximize efficiencies, do you see a need to look for efficiencies in our overall town budget?
That's a great question, thank you. And my answer is absolutely yes. I don't know how long I have to answer this question, but I could go at quite some length. I know from my own, pulling from my own business experience, we've been in business 23 plus years. Challenges and internal operation reviews and that sort of thing is a good thing. It helps you look inside. I know in our business we had everything from financial reviews to HR reviews, operational reviews, and it doesn't really challenge the staff as much as it enlightens them to look inside, look internally, and see what are we doing right, where could we do better, what could we do better, and where can we can improve. The thing is not to take it as a confrontation, but to take it as a learning experience and a go forward so that we could all improve. And I don't know if there's a better way, but it depends on really the attitude that you're looking at when you're seeing this. And reviews and audits and these kind of things are a positive thing. Thank you.
When it comes to the town budget, when somebody who's in charge of a department, I feel that if they come below budget, the money should not be spent nowhere else. You should take the money and put it back into the following year. For example, this year you have snow clearing, and snow clearing this year is going to come well below budget. Take that money, save it for next year, or give it back to the residents and lower our tax dollars. All right, thank you.
Well, certainly at my work, we strive to streamline budgets and make things more accommodating for the members of the golf club. It's no different from the town. We need to have a look at the budget. We need to separate our discretionary spending from our necessary spending. And with that, and if we do that, we lessen the burden for taxes for our citizens. Thank you.
Yes, and being in business myself for the last 5 years, I can honestly say that you have to be fiscally prudent about your spending. You want to look at all departments, and yes, if there's a decrease in snow clearing this year, well, you could use the money for water and sewer works. Next year it might be a little bit different, so you would have to look at budgets on a yearly basis and take it from there. Thank you.
I definitely think we should look at efficiencies in our budget. As when I work with Central Health, we do have an audit every year. We have it, and I just don't say that money is spending too much. It's just for efficiencies and procedures on how to probably collect money a better way rather than spend it what we're spending. I definitely think it's one thing that we got to look at as a council, and it's only not just for our sake, for the residents' sakes, for status quo of the province and other towns in our province. Thank you.
Well, right now, we are the envy of most towns our size because we have the lowest debt ratio in Newfoundland. Grand Falls-Windsor does. We got to keep doing what we're doing. You know, our government and right now our towns, our municipalities have to watch our budgeting because of money. You know, we just got to watch our spending. And as a town, we got to step up and save as well. Thank you.
I looked in this year's budget and I noticed in some departments there was an increase in spending. And sometimes you have to question the spending. Is it necessary? Do we have to do it? And when it comes to a budget, you try to do your best to give the top service you can to the citizens of the Grand Falls-Windsor. But if we can save some money, like people are saying on snow clearing and other issues that we have in our town, we can put that money aside for something else. Like in Alberta, one time they put money from all the oil into I think it was I forget what they called it up there, but it was for protection, like for a rainy day. And now the rainy day is in Alberta because we see what happened to the oil, to the price of our oil. But I think our budget, like I said before, we got to control our spending, and that's the main issue.
Okay, and our second question comes from Dave Newell from CBC. And we'll be starting with Rod. Yes.
To expand on the last question, would you request and support a full operational review of the town of Grand Falls-Windsor? Why or why not?
Personally, myself, I think that the town of Grand Falls-Windsor is on the right track. We have the lowest tax dollar rate in the province with the major communities, CBS, Gander. Some people may feel that we pay more taxes, but the newer homes out there, they're paying $3,000, $3,500 a year in taxes, and we have a lot of older homes here that we're paying less taxes. So, but having a mill rate at like 7.25, and if we drop that there, I mean that would be pretty hard on our town's income, right? All right, thank you.
Yes, I would support an operational review if it's fiscally feasible. Most of us in our jobs are, I know mine is reviewed every year through the golf club, and as I say, it's a good practice to have these operational reviews on a semi-annual or biannual basis. So I would certainly support an operational review if it was feasible to do, and it didn't cost the taxpayers a load of money to do it. Thank you.
Yes, I would definitely agree with having an internal audit done. We should maybe look at every second or third term of council. We should be hauling in our reins and seeing where tighten our purse strings to and what we can do to make it a more financially fiscal town down the road. Thank you.
I definitely believe we should have operational review here in the town. And some people believe that it's going to cost town taxpayers a lot of money. But at the hospital, we do a contract where it's every 3 years, and we tender that out, so it saves a bit of cost. So if we do that with the town as well, it will save on the taxpayers to have an operational audit. But by having an operational audit, it will help with efficiencies as well to help us save money within our budget and with our town procedures, town hall, our snow clearing, anything that we have. Thank you very much.
Yes, I would support an operational review so we can learn from it, and then it would let us and make it public and let everybody see we're spending, and there'd be no questions in from the public what's going on in council. Thank you.
I agree with an operational review because it'll make our council more transparent, and the people will know exactly where our dollars are being spent. Thank you.
Thank you, great question. I absolutely agree with the audit. I think in times of fiscal restraint or in times of fiscal prosperity, it's a tool that we all use. I know in businesses, we use them every year to review what we're doing. As I said before, it's a non-confrontational. It helps us. It helps us learn. It helps us go forward, and it helps us identify our weaknesses. And I think that sometimes all of us are a little afraid to change, and we're afraid of if somebody finds something. But that's how we learn. That's how we get better. That's not something that we need to be afraid of. Thank you.
Okay, we'll be asking our third question there now, and our third question will come from Randy Edison from the Advertiser, and this time we will be starting with Mike Brown.
My question is, how do you, as a council, go out to
Well, to improve business in our town, we need to work closer with the business community. There's a lot of small business owners in the town, and at some point we need to be all on the same page. And through this, I think we can certainly learn from it and create a great, better business atmosphere in our town, and that in itself will attract business to our town. If you were thinking about opening a business in Grand Falls, Windsor, and you know the business community is together and on the same page, that will entice you to come and open your business. Thank you.
To promote business in Grand Falls, Windsor, you would have to get some retail space here. We got, we're really lacking in Grand Falls, Windsor area right now of any amount of actual retail space that we can actually promote to get other business to come in. So we had an issue with the Queensway Industrial Park out there a number of years ago. We got a lot of land out there that's tied up with a personal company, and we need to look, as a town, we need to look at some way to get this land back so we can start promoting it to other businesses like box stores to come in to our town. But we gotta have retail space in order to bring these people in. Thank you.
How I see how to attract businesses to our town is to, let's look at taxation as a scale. So if we have new business coming in, let's say the taxation is 15 mils. Let's say the first year, we'll tax them at 5 mils. Then come to the second year of operation, let's tax them at 10 mils, on up to 15 mils. Therefore, this will attract a business to come in, have a startup, get more cash flow, and help them build into a stronger, more sustainable business. Thank you.
For business and business growth in our town, we need to bring some businesses in our town so we could get spin-offs. If we could, right now, we have a one resource, our fiber. So if we could, the town and government has been working together to try to find uses for our fiber, but we need a private investor. So we had if we had use for our fiber, then we'd have spin-offs from that for help our businesses in our town. And also, it would help growth for sure. Thank you very much.
We have two great resources in our town. That's the hydro and the forestry resources. We got to let the country know, let the world know that this is in our backyard. And if we don't advertise, put a website, travel, no one's going to know about these resources. And we have to work together with governments to get these businesses to come here. Like I said, this is two great resources, our hydro and our forestry. Thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Again, seeing it at the door all the time, right when we're doing our campaigning. This is not an easy answer. Council's been working on this over and over again, but I think, in my opinion, we have to make sure that the people out there know, the community knows, the province knows, federally they know, that we are open for business as a town. We need to leave no stone unturned. I think at the highest position in our town, our mayor, our councillors, our expats, we have lots of people all over this country that are from Grand Falls, Windsor, from Fortis to the Paddocks to the Harmsworths. We really should be networking everywhere. We should be sending our people out and seeing what new businesses are out there. I mean, did you read recently that they're turning the forestry into biofuels? You know, they're now looking for new sources for tissue, not for paper, because that's a cheaper way to make it. We have to go with the times. We just can't sit back and say, we're inviting businesses here. We need to do everything. Like the tax rate, we have to look at what's possible, what's there, what can we do. But we have to be aggressive. If we're not aggressive, it's not going to happen. Thank you.
I believe that the town of Grand Falls, Windsor should go after the provincial government, and it is stated that the town of Grand Falls, Windsor should be the hub of central Newfoundland. We should go at our economic development and get a major player here and use our forestry. We can put a boost in our economic development, get one player here, As the saying goes, if you build it, they will come. And if you have a major player here, the rest of them will be here. Thank you.
Okay, we have another time for another question there as well, and this question is coming again from Colleen Lewis, the NTV. And this time we'll be sharing with Sean Feener.
Sean, what are your thoughts on changing the name of the town?
Well, I personally agree that we should at some point down the road look at changing the name of the town. We should have a referendum again of some sort. We should be able to hold some town hall meetings, the per and the pun there, but and we should look at name of the town. We should look at some new names, because we gotta collaborate all of Grand Falls and Windsor side and make it all one town. And maybe it'll take a few generations with a new name that eventually it will come around. But personally thinking, I think we should have a referendum to see if we should have a change. Thank you.
On my campaigning, I've been asked this question. Someone said to me that we should change the name of town, but I personally believe we shouldn't. I grew up in Windsor. I live in Grand Falls now. We're one town, one community. If you look at our symbol, our town logo symbol, it shows a tree in the middle, which represents upward growth. It shows two houses on each side, which is Grand Falls and Windsor, and coming together of community. And it shows the balance of the weight scales, which shows balance within the community. So I seriously don't think we should change the name of our town. We are what we are. Thank you.
Absolutely not. And because it's just money that we don't need to spend right now.
I think the name should stay the way it is. It's two communities that came together 25 years ago, and both of them had different heritage, and we put these two heritages together as one. As I know, there's one place down in the States, they never complain. It's called Minneapolis, St. Paul. Thank you.
Great question, another one at the door. My personal thought is I love Grand Falls, Windsor. I think that if it changes, it should be the wishes of the people. Right now, the people love it. I think what's more important than any of that is an underlying question is why they think that it needs to change. Because a lot of people in the Windsor neighborhood feel that they're not treated the same as the ones in the Grand Falls neighborhood. So maybe we need to reach out and make everybody feel equal and make everybody feel there's dialogue and there's equality and we truly are one town united.
I think that question is 25 years late. It should have been done 25 years ago. I really feel that we should leave it as is. My kids see it today as Grand Falls, Windsor. On my campaign, I see people still talking about Windsor. I see people talking about Grand Falls. In the fire department, you still get your two groups, but you know what? We're all one. Thank you.
No, I don't think we should change the name either. We're celebrating the 25th anniversary of our town. It's probably not a good time to be changing our name. We need to ensure that the community and both parts of the community, everybody in the community feels a part of it. And to be elected, that's what I will strive to do. Thank you very much.
Okay, and our fourth question. Our fourth question is going to be asked by David Newell of CBC. And again, we're going to start this time with Neil Poole.
Will you suggest new or different approaches to our salmon festival?
Good one. Growing up in this town, I've experienced Salmon Festival right from when I was 12, 13, right up now till I'm in my 30s. Yes, the Salmon Festival have grown too big for our community in a sense. I truly believe we still need to keep the Salmon Festival, but we do need to downscale it a little bit and just bring it all back together and hopefully, like I said before, bring it in as a community event and then build up from that. Thank you.
is the question again?
Will you suggest new or different approaches to our salmon festival?
Do you know that the Salmon Festival put Grand Falls-Windsor on the map? We've had a lot of great salmon festivals, and yes, we've had some issues, but I'm sure lessons were learned from every one of them. I would not want to see it disappear, and I was happy to read today the announcement of the 2016 Salmon Festival, July 14th to the 18th. This festival was always the third weekend of July, and we should keep that date, keep it steady. I'd love to see a gospel concert on Sunday night so seniors can go, stay in their cars and listen and watch. The salmon dinner is something I do with my family every year, and we love it. And Family Day is always an excellent turnout. I look forward to being part of the planning of the 2016 Salmon Festival.
In the past, the Salmon Festival has brought mega money into our town, and it can again in the future. But in order to do it, we must downsize, and we must stay away from these mega concerts, because we know what happened, that it did cost the taxpayers some dollars. But I do believe that we still should continue with our Salmon Festival, but try to keep it down like when we first started out. People came, they had a great time, and they spent money. That's what we want. Thank you.
You guys have been going door to door, right? Getting these questions. I think we need to separate the Salmon Festival from the concert. I don't think there's anybody here in this room that doesn't want a Salmon Festival. It's a celebration of every town, whether it be a gospel concert, whether it be Family Day or whatever. What we do not and should not do in the future, I believe, is be a promoter and have the risk of the financial risk of having a big concert. And that's the problem. We can get lots of little local bands, big bands, Newfoundland bands, do what we like. But separating the two is going with the festival, making sure we don't have the financial responsibility of big concerts. Thank you.
I really think that the Salmon Festival was kept on a small scale, as they're doing this year. Back in years past, when the Salmon Festival was, Great Big Sea was playing, it was a great event to get together at Newfie Night, meet some old friends, and that's what it was all about. So I really feel that the town's going to be on the right track right now, and let's scale it back and work from there. All right, thank you.
Okay, and the Salmon Festival has been an important part of our town and needs to continue to be. But we need not risk taxpayers' money to ensure we had a successful concert. We don't need 30,000 people to have a successful concert. We need to use our local talent, and we need to spread the concert out more over 4 or 5 days. We can have little concerts here with local talent, little concerts here with local talent, and then go back to the field for the main concert with no risk to taxpayers' money. Thank you very much.
I fully agree that the Salmon Festival should still go ahead, scale down quite a bit, mind you. When it rains, everybody that goes to the concerts, every store in Grand Falls-Windsor is sold out with their oilskins and umbrellas and stuff. When the sun is shining, it's the same thing with water and suntan lotion and stuff. So I mean, by all means, I fully agree with having a Salmon Festival, downsize it. And for example, maybe 1 year, maybe for example, have like a kitchen party for a theme for a Salmon Festival. Next year you can have maybe go for a country and western theme or something like. But it could be still a good concert. We don't have to have these big mega concerts because you can only go so far up the scale with what we have coming here in talent. So it's time to level off and stay the status quo. Thank you.
Okay. Question number 6 is going to come from Randy Edison of the Advertiser, and we'll be starting with Mandela Windsor.
Well, Mandela's winding up, and I ask one question, Mike Brown, just a basic format. So I think I know the answer. Think the balloons will make laugh? Yes, they are. I know. Good answer. My question is, would you support more town hall type meetings involving council and citizens?
Well, yes, I have attended some meetings, town hall meetings, and I must say they're a lot more exciting in person than they are on Rogers Cable. And no offense to Rogers Cable. Thank you.
I believe in transparency, and I think if the council, more people came to the council meetings, and we have more public influence into the council, then we can also make council accountable, and that's one they have to do. The council has to be accountable for what they do. Thank you.
Thank you. My position on that is I strongly believe that we need to be more accessible, have open dialogue with council, councilors, our local residents. Town hall meetings, absolutely. There's a lot of issues out there, as I said in my opening speech, that people have that they do not bring up because they fear nobody's listening, or they believe nobody's listening. So I think the greater accessibility to councilors, the greater accessibility to council, and that breaching the gap and bridging the gap, I think is critical in engaging people in our town and engaging in us in the issues there. Thank you.
Yes, I do believe we should be having that. We're a small town. Everybody knows everybody. I believe that if we had our citizens come into town hall meetings, I think it would be absolutely wonderful. We're a population of 13,800, and when you drive down the road, you'll know somebody. Everybody on the street. I'm sure most people in Grand Falls-Windsor know who I am, right? And I know probably about 90% of the population here. So I do say yes, go ahead and invite people to the town hall meetings, and we could be more transparent when the council comes out, and we can have the citizens there to listen to what we have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, there should be regular town hall meetings where citizens can come and speak to council. We got some very talented people in our community, very resourceful people, and part of my platform was working together, we can make a difference. So we should have one every couple of months. We should invite the public, and the council can sit down and listen to see what they got to say, and that can only be a good thing for this town. Thank you.
I agree also. We should have an open council. And I just lost the train of thought there. What was the question again?
Would you support more town hall type meetings?
Yes, by all means I would, yes. We would, in particular areas, particular situations, like I go back to the Salmon Festival again, maybe it was, if the discussions surrounding the Salmon Festival back last year, if that was open, more accountable in the town hall meetings, maybe more people would have more input, and we would maybe learn from our mistakes. Thank you.
Town council meetings are open to the public anyway. Anyone come and sit down, and we all understand some of those meetings are not the most exciting sometimes, and it is a bit boring sitting there listening and everyone stand up, sit down. But I do believe in more town open meetings. Whereas if we have an issue, for instance, if we had the roundabout, they did have an open meeting about that for everyone to come out. So if we have an issue within town, we definitely should have more open meetings like that, so we hear the public, hear everyone's response, and they come and ideas that they have. Thank you.
Okay, at this time we are going into our closing remarks, and we are going to start. So in the beginning, remember we started with Dave Barker, so we're going to go in reverse order right now, and we're going to start with Mandela with closing remarks, and that will be for 2 minutes.
While I was campaigning, I was amazed at how many young families moved to our town, and they had no connection to Grand Falls-Windsor. They came here because of the wonderful sports facilities and the children's programs, and seniors with no connection here as well, moving to Grand Falls-Windsor. A gentleman, a senior, told me he and his wife moved here to be closer to the hospital, And he also said that has everything here that I need. He had 2 children. One lived in Marystown, the other one in Cornerbrook, and he told me he was perfectly centered. This is a great town, and we have lots to offer new families who want to move to our town. We are eager sometimes to criticize, and we take our town for granted. But again, we are the envy of towns our size with the lowest debt ratio. We have one of the best fire departments and top-of-the-line trained volunteer firefighters in the province. And we have a lot to be thankful for. I'm creative, I have a lot of great ideas, and I'm a hard worker. I never give up. I wish I could speak more off the tongue, though. Peggy, you made me look really good. You know, and I never give up. I always get the job done. But there's a lot of things that I would like to see done in this town, and I want to work with the council team to do that. I want to see a lot, and I want to do a lot. I will make you a promise I know I have control over. When I vote in meetings on issues and projects, etc., I will place my vote with the best interests of the residents of Grand Falls-Windsor, and I will do that with respect and loyalty. I'm excited and ready to experience the Grand Falls-Windsor Town Council process. I love people and enjoy helping people. That's why I feel... You know, I don't know if I said all the right things here tonight, but I spoke from my heart. So please, give me a chance to prove myself on March 8th. Vote Mandela Windsor.
First off, I'd like to say thanks to the Chamber of Commerce for this forum, for all of us to bring in our ideas, and for all the residents who came out to sit and listen to all of us speak our ideas and what we do for our town. But in closing, I'd like to say that you, the residents, have a challenging task. This is not a normal election. And with the number of candidates running for 2 seats, you have to make a decision that's right one for our town. The candidate you choose has to complete council as a whole. Kind of look at it like a jigsaw puzzle. We need someone who's going to listen to your concerns and work for a better tomorrow. I believe that I have the skills and knowledge to be that candidate. Thank you.
In closing, I would like to add, over the past few weeks, I've had many discussions with many people in our town about issues that are important to them. Obviously, the big issues that we've discussed here tonight are important to everyone, but there's still issues that people have in their day-to-day lives that are very important to them as well. Everything from sidewalk clearing, locations of stop signs, animal control and protection, senior issues, educational opportunities for our youth. If I'm elected on March 8th, I can assure that all these issues will be just as important to me as they are to you. I think it's councillors' duty and responsibility to be available, accessible to residents of the town who put their faith in you. Having operated a business here in town for the past 5 years, I've learned a few very valuable lessons. First and foremost is that if you want to be successful, you have to listen to what the people are saying. Over the past few weeks, I've been asked many times exactly why are you running for council? And without hesitation, I can tell you that one and only one reason I am running is because I love our town. I love the life it has given me and my family. I love the people. There's a sense of community here. That's when you're when you're born and raised here, something like that, you really get it. I can bring my drive and passion for this region, along with my ideas for growing our economy, to council. Anyone who knows me also knows that I'm not afraid to speak up and speak out on issues that are important. And I want to play an active role in the future direction of our town. I want to give back to this town and its people a small portion of what I've been given over the years. And I hope that you will give me that opportunity. Thank you.
If elected as your councillor, there are many issues I would like to pursue. And I just want to go back to the seniors issue once more to make sure we all understand. There's seniors in this town being forced to relocate to another town as a result of the lack of level 3 long-term health care beds. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't get much worse than that. You lived in Grand Falls-Windsor for 80 years, all of a sudden you need level 3 health care and they want to move you to Buckins. And I know it's a provincial issue, and I know provincial money will solve it, but the fight for that needs to start locally, right here, right now. Our seniors want to advocate, and want us to advocate on their behalf to stop this from happening. Other issues I like to pursue is the satellite school of nursing. It would be a tremendous asset to our town, and it also would alleviate the nursing shortage we currently have. We must continue to support our youth, including sports and arts. It's important for council to support these two worthwhile projects. It's the heart of the community, and we must continue to do so. There is a movement afoot to deal with youth mental health, another serious issue in our town. We must, and the council must do everything they can to support the group that's leading the cause here. You know, it's 2016. It's hard to believe, but there's bullying still going on in our town. And we need to support any initiatives that would help put an end to bullying. I mentioned in my platform an outdoor oval skating rink would be a great asset to our town when it's feasible to do so. We got 2 sets of lights in our town. I can't imagine anything more beautiful than going for a skate with your partner on a beautiful Sunday night under the lights. And we must develop a good relationship with our business community and ensure our council and our business leaders are on the same page. The Salmon Festival needs to get back to its roots, as we answered the question. We need to include more local talent. And as I said, we don't need 20 or 30,000 people to have a party. Let's keep it simple and keep it small. Oh, okay, thank you.
I understand the role of a councillor is very demanding, and I am ready for the challenge. As a member of council, I will be accessible 12 months a year. I would like to work for the people of our community on important issues affecting our town. If elected, some issues that I would address include all seniors issues, monitoring all discretionary spending, work closely with business owners to promote local shopping. As well, I will help manage the budget that demands close scrutiny. After all, it belongs to us taxpayers, and we deserve it. A wise man told me once, if you take care of your pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. I would like to thank the Chamber of Commerce, Rogers Cable for providing myself and all other candidates with this opportunity. I would like to thank my wife Hilda, my family, my campaign committee, and my supporters. Thank you for your dedication and support. Finally, I would like to recognize my fellow candidates for putting themselves forward as potential councillors. I wish them well and good luck. Your voice is my voice. I respectfully ask for your vote. Thank you.
I as well would like to thank the Chamber, Rogers, the moderators, the volunteers, and the residents who came out tonight to enjoy this debate. Doing our door-to-door campaign, it was clear that residents want change. They want to see greater accountability on how their tax dollars are spent. They do not want to see their taxes rise for unnecessary spending and concert losses. After 23 years of successfully running multiple businesses in central Newfoundland, I know that financial accountability is essential for every dollar spent. Residents need to have trust in their elected councillors that they have the knowledge and the skill sets to make good decisions on their behalf. Councillors need to know how to manage budgets, and they should have the skills that will provide great leadership in their municipal responsibilities. I want to be part of that team. Councillors and municipal staff will challenge themselves and others to deliver the best services, family, business, senior services, with the least cost to the taxpayer. We need to be comfortable that as a town we're delivering the best in our services most efficiently. Unlike political promises that cannot be kept after an election, my promise to you is commitment. Commitment to work in partnership with council and staff in a positive environment, commitment to bring financial experience and management skills to the council table to deliver the best services that we can, and commitment to be a strong ambassador of the town in exploring opportunities and fostering relationships. Most importantly, commitment to represent you, the taxpayer, to the best of my ability. On March 8th, I respectfully ask for your vote. Thank you.
As I said in my opening statement, we need new industries to strengthen our town's economy. We have the hydro and forest resources to build new industries. Why should other parts of our province benefit from the resources from our backyard and we receive nothing? I volunteer in our town for school breakfast programs, youth basketball free throw, soccer pitch, and I also volunteer and support the Special Olympics. On the last Sunday in September, I organized to clean up household garbage and other debris that's dumped across the Exploits River. I am asking for your support. Vote Dave Barker on March the 8th. Thank you.
I also want to thank Rogers for making this possible and bring us all together to be able to get that word out to community a little bit more. And again, have a great evening, and remember on March 8th, it's time to come out and vote and make our selection for our council. Thank you.